We can count top CEOs of global corporations who are raising mentorship programs just to mentor women for free and to teach them how to win in life. Question is, who is doing those things for men? That's the purpose of the Man-Thing Summit. It was born out of that need to create a support system for men and to make sure that our men are no longer hanging themselves and committing suicide because they can't find answers, practical answers to real-life problems that they face every day. And so this summit was born in 2019 in the city of Port Harcourt. In 2020, COVID did not allow us to continue with this, so we did it online with excellent resource persons. 2021, we did in Port Harcourt again, and then this year we've gone to Abuja, we've gone to Uyo, and this is our third touch in Nigeria, Enugu City. And then from here we'll be in Lagos next week, Sunday, and then upper week we'll go back to our home base, which is Port Harcourt. So we're excited to have you around. This is a practical program. You realize once we go into our breakout sessions that we're trying to answer, we're not here to speak grammar, we're here to solve problems. So if you have questions, hard questions, write them down. But one more thing before I proceed. If you are with your smartphone, how many of us are with our smartphones tonight? Can you just pull it out and just, I think, media team, we're streaming. Stream has started. Go to the Man-Thing page, search for the Man-Thing on your Facebook, on your YouTube, and hit the share button. Or copy the link and post on your, share with somebody, any man who is not here physically that you think will benefit from this event. It's something that they will thank you for. So, the Man-Thing was pioneered by Pastor Wisdom Osiri, who is in the house this evening. Can you celebrate? Put your hands together, celebrate our founder and lead facilitator. And he's had a very successful ministry to men. You know, he'll talk more about the need, why the Man-Thing was birthed when it comes up. But you can Google him up and search him up. He has consistently been a sought-after resource person, speaking to men, you know, in the key areas that affect their lives, namely finance, money, family, you know, faith, and other ones that he will mention as it comes up. But those are the key things, those are the basic building blocks that every man needs solutions to. And we're excited to have him present in the house, and we also have our facilitators who will be introduced. Thank you so much for coming. How do you benefit the best from this summit? Get your writing pad. After now, we're going to have a general session. We're going to have breakout sessions featuring issues like, you know, how do you use technology to build your business? How do you structure your business for growth so that you don't need to be in your business for the business to grow? Autopilot growth. We have a total of 11 breakout sessions. Get ready to learn. Get your biro, get your pen. Don't just listen and say, I will remember. The brain has the capacity to retain only about 30% of what you hear every day. So listen, ask questions, connect with other men, you know, and then that is the best way to take advantage of this event. Thank you once again for coming in. If you need to, you know, ease yourself, the conveniences are on the right-hand exit of the auditorium. That will be your left-hand side. So you just step out and somebody will be able to direct you to where the conveniences are for those of us who are not House on the Rock members. And if you have not registered already, it is important that you register so we can share important updates with you. You can step up and then do the registration during the break. Very important. Turn around to your neighbor. Say, neighbor, I'm excited that you are here. Your life is about to change. Put your hands together for yourself one more time. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Man-Thing Summit, Enugu. All right, gentlemen, coming right up this evening, we're going to have a health session. Health is important, more important than money. And so we have a medical professional in the house to take our first general session. Put your hands together, Enugu way. Can we celebrate him, Dr. Bao? Is that how we do it in Enugu? Keep doing it until he comes up.
Thank you very much for the warm reception. Praise God. Praise God. Do we have men in the house? Can I hear your baritone? Praise God. Good, good, good. It's always great to have an opportunity to speak to men regarding their health conditions, their general well-being, and decisions regarding how they proceed regarding health issues. This is important for two reasons. First is that there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of even disinformation concerning health and issues concerning health. And the truth about these things are few and far between. This session will give us an opportunity to dissect the matter and get to the truth. And we're able to extract useful information that will help us make responsible decisions concerning our health. What does God think about, what does the Bible think about good health? Apostle John, in 3 John 1 verse 2, he sent a letter to Gaius and he said, amongst all things, I wish that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prospereth. So the decision, the verdict is clear from the Bible that God is actually interested in our health. And not just healing. We're talking about the position of maintaining good health. And that's going to be the core of our discussion today. I'll be saying some things here in attempt to explain some of the medical conditions that I'll be talking about that plague men. A little disclaimer, it's not to be a form of scaremongering, but it's to draw our attention to areas that are very important and to imbibe information so we can make more responsible decisions concerning our health going forward. Now, as men, we occupy a very unique position in God's plan for our families, our society, even our local church. And no matter how anointed, how gifted, or how talented you are, it might be nigh impossible to be able to achieve, or to action God's master plan for your life if you don't have good health and if you're not in a good frame of mind. And this is the essence of this session today. I want to use this opportunity to thank the organizers of this program for inserting this session into this program. Thank you very much. The purpose of our discussion will be focused on health issues, general health issues that affect or that plague men. Or you can call it significant health issues that bother men today. And some of these issues are particular to men. They are specific for men. Some of these other issues are not specific for men. Women also share in them. But we'll be talking about them because for some of them, men seem to have a higher tendency to have these conditions. And for others, there seems to be a different kind of illness behavior that men actually display towards some of these diseases or these conditions. Illness behavior simply means how a person responds to ill health, how a person reacts, the composite of the decision making, the psychology that is oriented towards how the person approaches his or her health condition. In this case, the man, his health condition. So some of these conditions have a very different or a unique kind of way men have been found to respond to them, even though women have them too. But men respond to these issues very differently. So we'll dive into the meat of the matter today. The first issue, I'm actually going to talk about 6 major health conditions that plague men in our society today. The first one I'll talk about is what you know is very common, high blood pressure or hypertension. It simply means a persistent elevation in blood pressure beyond 120 over 80 millimeters of mercury. That is the particular blood pressure that is below which is normal for human beings. Above that, you begin to have complications in different organ tissues in the body. Now, hypertension has been found. Why are we talking about in a men's conference like this? It's supposed to be a general thing, but studies have shown that hypertension or high blood pressure is actually more common in men than women. You may be surprised to hear that. And even more so, high blood pressure is more common in black African males than Caucasians, than white people. So as a black man, you have even a higher tendency to have come down high blood pressure over your lifetime than a white man. Why is this so? It has to do with the unique mechanism by which our kidneys, which are actually the organs that control our blood pressure, how it handles salt. So for African males, we have a tendency to hold on to salt in our body systems than other races. So it's important as a black man, you should have that insight that you are at a higher risk of coming down with these conditions. But the important thing is that even though there is a tendency to come down high blood pressure when you have a family predisposition, when you have maybe a father or a mother or a first-degree relative that has the condition, the tendency is higher. But most of these conditions can be modified by health, positive health decisions. Diet, for example, proper diet, cut down on the salt in your diet. All right, do not add extra salt, table salt in your food. All right, reduce your intake of canned foods and highly processed foods. Then exercise. I personally had a time where my blood pressure started getting elevated. My blood pressure was getting elevated. Now, normally my blood pressure is between 110/80. But for some reason, it started rising. I saw a reading of 130/80. And I had to do something about it. And that calls to mind why we're having this discussion today, which is preventative. How many of you here have taken your blood pressure in the last 1 week? Can I say a show of hands? Just see 3, and no, 4, 5. Okay, that's something. Well, it's very, okay, let's say, how many of you have taken your blood pressure in the past 1 month? We have more persons. So it's good to see that there's more awareness towards this. It's important to check your blood pressure regularly. So we're beginning to see younger persons coming down with high blood pressure. Usually it used to be a condition for the middle-aged and the older individuals, but we're seeing a prevalence of younger persons coming with very, very markedly elevated blood pressure. And high blood pressure is actually silent, and when you begin to have symptoms is when you are beginning to have complications. So some people will say, I know how my blood pressure to be. Once I don't get headache and here, I go take medicine. That should not be the case. Because once you begin to exhibit symptoms, it means that something is getting damaged in your body. So the hallmark or the goal for our talk on high blood pressure is self-recording. Those of you who have the habit of taking your blood pressures regularly, continue at it. If any of you here doesn't have that in your schedule, please add that to your schedule. Periodically, it can be once a month, it can be once in 2 months, once in 3 months, but even once in 6 months. But keep it in check. The next topic I will talk about is actually diabetes. I call it a brother to high blood pressure because it's something usually is common in our environment, among black individuals, black men. And it's also a very dangerous disease. Also, just like high blood pressure, it's something that can be modified. There's a very strong genetic disposition, a genetic relationship with diabetes or high blood sugar. But it's something that can be modified with lifestyle, diet, exercise. Just like high blood pressure, diabetes is usually found. The major type of diabetes is